Side of the numbers brought to you by Bank of America. One guy has been very good on this road trip. Average up to 310, 45 singles to lead the National League. That's Fernando Vina.
Well, you see the 8-game hitting streak. That was last Sunday when he got his first home run. It was 3 hits. He leads the National League in singles, and we just need him to get started. We really have to win or get on the scoreboard first, put a little pressure on the Reds.
He is a table setter, Fernando Vina, and certainly a guy that can drive him in is J.D. Drew.
And J.D.'s been really hot of late. So, you know, if you go back about 25 games, he's hit in 22 of those 25 games at .340. He has 9 home runs and 23 RBIs in the month of May. He can do it with a long ball. He can do it with a little ball. He's got to times when you're trying to score runs, you've got to get on base, and then when you're on base, he can run.
J.D. Drew and the Cardinals will try to take game number 3 against the Reds. Speaking of Fernando Vina, we'll talk about double plays when we come back. Darryl Kile and Brian Reith this afternoon, but Fernando Vina defensively behind him is one of the best at turning the double play. Recently at Busch, I got on the field with Fernando and asked him about turning that double play. George Kissel has been around for 60 years in the Cardinals organization, teaching the fundamentals of the game. Broadcaster Mike Shannon has also seen players come and go, and without hesitation, they both say Fernando Vina is the best that they've ever seen at turning the double play. It's a God-given ability, but it's also a skill Vina works very hard on.
Could be 2. Fernando turns the 6. Ball, double play ball.
I think the biggest thing I try to do when there's a ground ball hit for a possible double play ball is to get my left foot on the bag as soon as I can. If I can get my left foot on the bag, then I can sit here and kind of read where the ball's going to be.
The ball is grounded to third. Can they? 5-4-3 with Vina in the middle.
You need to be under control. And once I do that, I pick up the third baseman or the shortstop, whatever it might be, to turn a double play. If he throws it to me straight ahead right at me, I'm going to cross over the bag, and always with my right foot, I'm going to take it to where the ball is at, because it clears me across the bag and it clears me away from getting the runners to slide into me. So it kind of gives me a little ways to get out of the way. Usually they'll slide right into the bag or something like that, so I'll be able to clear myself. If he throws it to me away, I'll take my right foot to the ball and just pivot right off it, use the bag to cover me from the runner.
Hit to the right side. Great play by
Since I was a little kid, I've always tried to play games like if I was playing catch with a buddy or whatever it might be. To this day, when I'm playing catch with Edgar or somebody, I always try to get it out of my glove as quick as I can and get a good solid throw out of it. The big key is keeping your hand real close to your glove. I mean, you see some guys that try to turn the whole play and their hands are over here. It takes a lot longer for them to bring that hand up and get it out and then throw it. So you always want to keep that hand close by, and that's what I always do. So it's really not even a catch. You're kind of just ricocheting it right into your hand. And you see my hand is real close to the glove, so it's ready to roll, and I'm ready to throw it from a short angle. And I'm always crossing over the bag just to get out of the way of the runner. So I get my left foot on there, and I'm ready to go wherever. It's always kind of a stutter step that you have, so I'm ready to throw. I got my feet under me and my balance ready to throw. So once this right foot lands, I'm ready to throw it. Either way.
Line drive. Vina turns the double play.
It's kind of instincts in my head to see when or where the ball's going to be at. If it's going to be closer to the bag on my right side, I'm going to make sure I field it and then run towards him and toss it to him. So it's one of the things that I'm always going to have my momentum going towards the shortstop. If I got a chance to flip the ball, I'm going to flip it if it's close enough to the bag. You don't want to flip a ball when it's far away because it takes a little longer.
Vina went to Rhea. There's the double play.
And if it's a ball right at me, I'm going to, come get the ball, charge the ball, field it, and just turn as quick as I can. I kind of use, like hitting, you pivot with your feet. I kind of do the same thing when I turn a double play. So it's quicker to always when you keep your feet on the ground instead of, you see some guys that hop and do it. I mean, it's quick too, but I think it's always quicker when you keep it on the ground and everything's quiet. When I'm teaching kids and when I always field the ball, I want to make sure the top of my head, guys in front of me can see the top of my hat. That means I'm right down on the ball and seeing the ball right into the glove. Always keep that glove open, ready to go. Same thing. And I funnel it in like it's an egg coming at me and I don't want to break the egg. When guys top the ball and they get little slow rollers to you, You got to come in and get it quick. Let's go. I'm working hard and trying to get better every day. George Kissel takes care of me. We got a routine that we go about every day. I mean, we do the same thing every day. And, you know, I think it's helped me so much. And, you know, I thank God that he's been there for me the whole time to hit me these ground balls at different angles, and it prepares me for the game.
Look at Vigna charging. He's in front of the mound. Can't go to second though.
Spin, throw, we got a double play for the Cardinals.
Arguably the best ever at turning the double play for the St. Louis Cardinals. He has been tremendous once again this season. When we come back, we'll talk about today's starters, Darryl Kile and Brian Reith. More to come from Synergy in just a moment. Cardinals baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. By AutoZone, the right part, the right price, and good advice. By your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals on WB11. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. For tires and complete auto service, all you need is Dobbs. And by Southwest Airlines, celebrating 30 years of freedom. 30 years, one mission, low fares. Southwest Airlines. Welcome back to Synergy Field. We'll have over 30,000 in attendance here in Cincinnati. And we've got the ace of the staff, Darryl Kile, on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals, coming off a loss, but probably deserved a better fate in that game against Milwaukee.
Well, Darryl is 6-3 on the year. 3 of his victories have come after Cardinal losses. So we ask him to do that and finish off this important road trip. A victory here today would make it 7-5 on the trip. So Darryl can go throw his fastball. He can throw his breaking balls. He changes speed so effectively, and we expect him back in the win column.
How much do you know about their starter, Brian Reith, who's 0-1?
Not a lot. You know, he's a youngster that was drafted by the Yankees in the 6th round back in '96. He came over in a trade for Denny Nagel. When he went to the Yankees from Cincinnati, he was only in A-ball and Double-A earlier this year. He's making his 3rd professional start. His first start was an exceptional one where he outpitched Schilling for 6 innings. Matter of fact, had a no-hitter until the 6th inning, and then in the 7th inning gave up a couple home runs and lost a tough one 2-1 to Curt Schilling.
Well, we're set to go here at Synergy Field. It's the rubber game between Bob Boone and Tony La Russa. The Reds and Cardinals. The first pitch just around the corner here in Cincinnati. Well, today's game marks the end of the Cardinals' season-long 12-game, 13-day road trip, and the Redbirds are 6-5 on this trip for Tony La Russa, trying to make it the first winning road trip of the 2001 campaign. Southwest Airlines brings us our starting lineup. Vigna, Polanco, and Drew, Pujols, Edmonds, Renteria. Kerry Robinson will get the start in left. Mike Matheny behind the plate. Darryl Kile on the mound for St. Louis, and on the mound for Cincinnati, part of our Chrysler Jeep starters, Brian Reith.
Making his 3rd major league start. He lost that first one, and then his second one was in Chicago. He was trailing 3-1, but then they had a rain delay and he never came back, got a no decision. So he's only pitched 10 1/3 innings, given up 10 hits. He's walked 2 and struck out 5. He has allowed 3 home runs in those 10 1/3 innings.
Defensively behind Reith this afternoon, it's brought to you by Dobbs. In the outfield, Young, Rivera, Ochoa. On the infield, Larson and Castro on the left side, Selby and Casey on the right side, and LaRue is behind the plate. He's a very good defensive catcher, and he's shown that in this series so far. Here's Fernando Vigna. He, along with Placido Polanco, are ranked 1 and 2 among National League hitters in singles with 45 and 42 respectively, and Vigna's got his average up to 310.
And last Sunday, he was the hero. He had 3 hits, including a game winner, a 2-run home run, and we won that ball game. I think it's very important for the Cardinals to jump out to a lead.
First pitch to Vigna, hits him. What is that, the 10th time now? 11th time.
11th time to lead the league, hit by pitches. This young man's only 23 years of age, and anyway, now Vigna 6 out of the last 7 times he has started the game either with a hit or a reaching base, and a couple times has been via being hit by a pitch. There you see 11 times already.
Get close to 30 a year ago.
28 to lead the National League, so he's on good pace.
Here's Placido Polanco, one of the top road hitters in the National League, hitting .331 overall. Vigna leads the club in stolen bases with 6. He's at first. Let's see if the Cardinals can do some damage early on against this youngster Reith. pitch, a strike to Placido. 25 years of age, 8-game hit streak, and has hit safely in 28 of his 35 starts so far this season.
Want to be aggressive, but you really cannot steal too much off of the catcher. But we'll have to determine whether Reith is slow to the plate. Looks like he might be.
LaRue was able to gun down J.D. Drew last night behind the plate.
Drew's thrown out 59% of runners.
He also made a tremendous play on a bunt that J.D. laid down. He popped out to field it and gun him from his knees.
Dave McKay with that stopwatch, checking the times. In his right hand.
Drew is on deck, and here comes the next pitch to Placido Polanco. The 0-1. Pitch out and undoing. Throw down to first. Peña's back in there safely. Faked running towards second, got back quickly, and 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, good base stealers, they can tell the pitcher will alter his motion to the plate on a pitch out. I don't think he was going anyway, but you'll see frequently they'll know it's a pitch out and they won't run.
Placido is 10th in the league in hitting at .331 on the road, 5th overall at .364. The 1-1 pitch popped up and into the seats. 1-2. He's in the hole. 13 multi-hit games on the year. Pretty much picked up where he left off last season.
Becoming known as one of the better. You can't really say a utility player because
anymore,
you know he plays almost every day, and we love it when he's in that lineup. But I would not be surprised if a lot of teams start asking about his services.
Peña's off and running. The pitch is high. Thrown out to second is not in time. And Fernando has stolen base number 7 on the year. He's in scoring position. And let's see if Placido can move him over.
He definitely got the jump off the pitcher. Anytime someone is 6'5", they're usually real slow to the plate. And there he's got a lot of. He was looking in to make sure he picks up there. And LaRue tried to rush his throw. It short hops the middle infielder. And he comes down underneath the tag. So 7 out of 9 now for Fernando in the stolen base department.
Peña's at second. Nobody out. The next two, Polanco. Fouled off his foot. He's limping a bit. 2-2. Cardinals return home tomorrow afternoon, a day game against Milwaukee. Matt Morris and Paul Rigdon. Morris is 6-3 on the year, and the Cardinals are 15-7 at home. They have won each of their last 8, including a perfect 7-0 mark during their last home stand.
And we'll be televising that game right here on WB11, Cardinal Television Network.
The next two, Polanco. This is in, full count.
I'm going to be picking up Six Flags tickets for the grandkids.
That's right, Six Flags Day at the ballpark. Family of 4, a value of over $60. Plenty of seats available for tomorrow's game. The next two, Polanco, fouled away. He's having a good at bat here.
Absolutely. A couple tough pitches. He's been able to fight off. Swung at that pitch and probably was wincing, saying, I hope it doesn't hit my leg.
Yeah.
Say, Reith has some late action to his fastball. That's the real key, that movement.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Polanco with Drew on deck. Peña at second, just underway in the first. And he pops it up on the infield. Larson, the third baseman, calls for it and has it. Route number 1. So Placido cannot move him over. That'll bring in J.D. Drew. J.D. Drew put on a show during batting practice. He was absolutely hammering the baseball.
Asked Easler, like I always do, who's his star today? He said J.D. I said, who else? He said J.D. I said, who else? He said J.D.
So I guess it's J.D.
See where he ranks in leaders, National League, 3rd in home runs. 7 away from his career high of 18 a year ago.
Not that you read into what a guy does in batting practice, but that was one of the best rounds I've ever seen him hit.
Batting practice is a lot different today than what it used to be. It used to be you worked on deficiencies. You work on what you want to do. Hit down on the ball. Hit to the opposite field. Different things like that. Today it's showtime.
See his May 9 home runs, over 20 RBIs, among the league leaders in those departments, and that's skied down the right field line, but foul. As he turned on that pitch and hit into the upper deck.
Coming in on him, he just really dropped the bat head, one-handed it. It appears that Ryan Reith, this youngster, will pitch on both sides of the plate.
The 1-2 to Drew. Line drive, foul. That breaking ball stays 1-2.
Like he might have splintered his bat. Get a little pine tar now. He's from Reith, 23, 6'5", 220. He was born in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and resides there. He was an all-state selection.
You mentioned his first start against Arizona. Certainly deserved a better fate. Major league debut, a 2-1 loss, and he had a one-hitter and a 1-0 lead into the 7th, but allowed back-to-back home runs by Gonzalez and Williams leading off that inning. And that was all. 2-1 loss. The next to Drew. JD having a nice at bat here with 2 strikes.
He did a nice job to follow that pitch off. Well, the Cardinals are looking at a guy that was in Double-A when he was brought up. Was off to a very nice start, and in his last 4 starts in Double-A, he was 3-1 with an ERA of 0.62.
Being second with 1 out. The next to JD. He held up. He evens the count. Reith is 0-1 on the year with a 4.35 ERA. The Reds are 8 games below the 500 mark. It's a full count on Drew. Pujols awaits on deck.
You can see at least Polanco and Drew have really shown good patience. If you are selective enough and you foul off the good ones, you're eventually going to get a mistake.
The 3-2 pitch to Drew. Popped up and into the seats. He's thrown an awful lot of pitches here in the first. Went to a full count on Polanco. Full count here on Drew. Bunch of foul balls by both.
17 pitches to this point.
See if JD can pick up the RBI here. The next to Drew. Line drive into right. That's trouble. Ochoa on the run. He can't get there. That's in the gap. And the Cardinals will take the lead. JD will stop at second. And it's a 1-0 lead on Drew's RBI, number 38 on the year.
That's what I've felt it was most important today, is for the Cardinals to jump out and get a lead. Put pressure. Kept on fouling off pitches. Got a pitch that he could handle. It plugs the gap between Ochoa and center field. Vina will cross the plate with the first run of the game. And maybe Pujols can, at the very least, exchange positions with JD.
Albert is hitting .355 with 14 home runs, 47 RBIs. He picked up an RBI last night. Ground ball. Larson is there. Over to Casey, and there's 2 away. As Pujols is retired for out number 2, and that'll bring in Jim Edmonds, who homered here last night the opposite way.
Pujols has been in and out a little bit. Jimmy have really been off. He had that home run last night, but that broke a 0 for 16 skid.
Watching him though last night, he seems to be close to getting back.
Yeah, he felt like he and Pujols had detected some little flaws that they had, just hitting Pujols was crouching too much. Jimmy was kind of leaning over too much and then standing up erect and put a hitch in both their swings.
On the road trip, he's hitting 143, 5 for 35. You see the last 10 days have not been good for Edmonds, hitting 322 for the year.
Well, the good news is that we're going home, and he's leading the National League in home batting average. It's also the good news is we're going to see Mark McGwire. Jim communicated with Mark yesterday on the phone, and Big Mac said everything's going right on schedule.
Edmonds sticks the bat out and pops it up. In foul ground. Larson has it. But the Cardinals do some damage. An RBI double by J.D. Drew, his 38th RBI on the year. Vina scores, and it's 1-0 St. Louis. Bob Boone was named the 56th manager in Reds history, the 46th skipper since 1900 here in Cincinnati. He has a 2-year contract, and he's at the helm of the Reds. And this is what his Southwest Airlines lineup looks like this afternoon. Ochoa to lead things off, followed by LaRue, Young, Casey, Rivera, Larson, Selby, Castro, and Reed. And making his team leading 11th start of the season is Darryl Kile.
Well, he'd won 5 straight decisions before he losing last time out to the Brewers. And see the ERA 3.38, 1 complete game. That was a shutout. He has given up more hits than innings pitched, and strikeout to walk ratio, he gave up a lot of walks early, but it's been pretty close to 3-to-1 since that time.
Defensively behind Kyle, brought to you by Dobbs. Getting the start in left, Robinson. Edmonds in center, Drew in right, Polanco, Renteria on the left side, Vina, Pujols on the right side, Mike Matheny behind the plate, the Gold Glover. And here's Ochoa in the leadoff spot once again. Ochoa led off Friday night's game against Andy Venice with a home run. First time he had led off since 1996, and he's back in there today. First pitch, a breaking ball and a strike to Alex Ochoa, who's hitting 295. Little breaking ball. Pujols wants to keep that a fair ball, and he does. Round number 1.
Good start right there. So a couple things have happened. Cardinals gave Kyle a lead, and you know, in his 3 losses, the Cardinals have only scored him just 2 runs. So that's probably an indication of getting a little more run support. And a lot of times, as you see the traffic on the river, nice view here is the
High River.
High River. Well, that ship had a huge draft or something.
It's dangerously high here.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right here. What you can go is you go down there and see a water line where they had the flooding. Somebody said in 97 was the last time they had a big flood here.
.90-mile-an-hour fastball from Kyle to the catcher LaRue, sitting 277. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Reds have had all kinds of injuries this season. We've been talking about that this weekend. But here at home, they struggle. They have the worst home record in the National League, the 2nd worst home record in the majors. 3-12 on their last 3 homestands, and that's not the way that you want to start in your first season if you're Bob Boone.
And they have not won consecutive home games this season. Let's make sure that stays intact.
Yes. 3-1. Dmitri Young is on deck. Sat out last night with a sore knee. Bothered by it now for about a week and a half. Full count. Last night's 7-2 victory for Cincinnati snapped a 4-game losing streak. The Reds have lost 4 of 5. If you take it even further, 13 of 17 and 19 of 25. And at the beginning of this month, they were tied with the Cubs for the division lead. Breaking ball, see you later. Nasty pitch there by Darryl Kile in his first strikeout.
You get a young hitter, he's going to be looking fastball, and you get to Uncle Charlie, and that's a 12-6er. He's go back to the dugout muttering to yourself. That's not fair.
Against Cincinnati, Darryl Kile is making his 16th start. ERA just under 5, and his record is 5-7.
And really, in his career, has not pitched well. But if you go back to last year, he's 2-0 with an ERA under 2 in 2 starts, and both of those victories were right here at Synergy Field.
Here's Dimitri Young. Mentioned that battling a sore knee, had an MRI on that knee yesterday, proved to be okay, and he's hitting just under 300. Quickly 0-2. Kyle looks sharp here early on.
Well, right now these guys are going up there looking fastball, and Darryl throws the curveball, and when they look curveball, he throws the fastball. So that is good for us. Guy's going to throw a changeup.
The 0-2 pitch. 1-2. Casey is on deck, their top hitter. High fly ball into right field off the bat of Young. A one-hopper off the wall. Edmonds will get it in, and Dimitri Young will stop at second. The ball gets away. He thought about taking third. He does not go. So Young with 2 outs is in scoring position, and that'll bring in Sean Casey, who had a big night last night.
Watch Dimitri. They're trying to throw the ball up, and he did, but he hit the ball. Now it is grass surface now, but it's still the rubberized track, so Jimmy had to wait for the ball to come down. Throws the ball in, and a little carelessly the ball gets away from Renteria, but look at how he hustles and keeps Dimitri at second base.
Smart play by Young to stay at second with Casey coming up.
Absolutely.
Don't need to make a needless third out at third base trying to advance with this man at the plate, who's hitting .331. He looks at a fastball for a strike. There's 41 RBIs. It's tops on their club by a wide margin. 7 home runs.
He leads the team in hitting, hits, doubles, homers, and RBIs. That's 7 home runs is tops.
One ball, 1 strike. Only 14 times all last season did the Reds start their projected opening day lineup, and they have yet to start their 2001 projected opening day lineup.
Well, you cannot let Casey tie this game. Got first base open. No, you've got to pitch around him.
1-2. Ruben Rivera's on deck.
A lot of times when we talk about pitching around a hitter, it's just you don't give in to him. You don't pitch to, if you're walking, you say okay, but you don't let somebody that is their best hitter tie the score, even though it is in the first.
Casey's in the hole here with a ball and 2 strikes. Breaking ball blocked by Matheny. He did not go around.
See how Matheny tags him and then asks for the appeal.
Eric Cooper, our third base umpire, on that appeal. Brian Gorman is behind the plate. Doug Eddings at first, and Jerry Crawford, the crew chief, is at second. The next to Casey. Breaking ball, ground ball, fouled away. Casey is hitting .360 since April 24th. With 25 RBIs. He had a 9-game hit streak. And again, their top hitter.
He's only hitting .264 at home, but he leads the National League with a .405 average on the road.
They, like the Cardinals, after 3 with the Cubs, starting tomorrow, will begin their longest trip away from home,
including coming to Busch Stadium next weekend.
Be for 4 games. Breaking ball, Pujols. The flip to Kile, and the Cardinals are out of the inning. So the Reds strand Dimitri Young at second. Fourth through an inning, and the Redbirds behind Darryl Kile lead it by the score of 1-0. There, the bobblehead for Jim Edmonds. Turn it back around, Al. Let's see if there's a resemblance.
There's
They're both smiling.
Need somebody to pop Jimmy in the jaw.
Sunday, June 3rd, the Cardinals play the Reds. It's Coca-Cola Walmart bobblehead doll night coming up at Busch Stadium next Sunday, week from tonight. 7:05 start. Collector's item, those bobbleheads commemorating the Gold Glove for Jim Edmonds a year ago, and then there'll be one later in the season on Mike Matheny. Here's Renteria to lead things off. The 2-0 pitch. 3-0. Renteria, Kerry Robinson, then Matheny. 1-0 Cardinals here in the second. There's a strike, 3-1. Brian Reed. Renteria hits it into right field. Alex Ochoa puts it away for out number 1. The bobblehead dolls are the hottest product in the collectibles market right now. And remember, this Jim Edmonds bobblehead doll cannot be found anywhere else. So the only way you can get it is come down to the ballpark, and the first 30,000 fans with a paid admission get that bobblehead. Brought to you by Coca-Cola and Walmart. That'll be next Sunday night, 7:05 start. Good seats still remain. Give the Cardinals a call, 421-2400. 421-2400. Here's Kerry Robinson. With Mark McGwire coming back, you start to think, well, who could be sent out? And a few weeks ago, you would have said Kerry Robinson, but he may have played himself on this team.
Kerry has been doing a nice job getting some playing time. Picked up a multi-hit game, picked up some RBIs on this trip. 375 average doesn't hurt either.
Not at all. Made a very nice play Friday night in the field and right field.
Got great running speed.
The 2-1 pitch. I was talking with him the other day. He said he was ready to quit the game, Al, about a year ago. His friends and family talked him into remaining. He did, and it's paid off. Robinson draws the walk.
It's one of the things too. He's shown that he has a good batting eye and will accept walks. And once he gets on base, he can be a little disturbance out there with his running speed.
You know, a few years back, Kerry Robinson, it was only about 3 or 4 years, was an intern with the St. Louis Rams in their public relations department because he wants to get in that field when he's done with baseball. Now here he is in the major leagues.
I thought he was a hockey guy.
He likes hockey, he likes football, he likes baseball, he likes it all.
He likes playing baseball too. I played with his father for a little bit in the Cardinals minor league system.
I know he's beaming about Kerry Robinson.
Should be. Tell you what, Kerry's got his head on straight too.
Has 1 stolen base on the year. See if he wants to test LaRue. Fakes going. Throw down to first. Kerry's back in there safely. We saw in Pittsburgh on a double. He was at first, and watching him run, I mean, it was breathtaking. And that guy can fly. Came all the way around to score.
He got a stolen base, crucial in the 9th inning. He was representing the tying run and right ahead of Paquette's 3-run home run.
Robinson is off and running. The throw down to second is in time, and he guns him out. Strong throw by LaRue. He's 1 of 2 on the afternoon. As Vina has a stolen base, and Robinson is gunned down. That's out number 2.
13 for 22 is LaRue. Got to get a better jump because you got to make it up on the pitcher because LaRue's too good throwing. If the pitcher gives him a chance to get off a good throw, he'll get you.
Matheny into left center. That's going to get down for a base hit. And it's bobbled in center by Rivera. That's his 6th error of the season if they do give him an error. He's one of the lowest in fielding percentage for an outfielder. And for a guy that plays center, you got to be better than that.
They gave him 2 base hit. That's interesting. Ball coming into him and hits it out there in center. They scored a clean double, which is generous. Matheny probably would not have tried to go to second.
It just got dark here, didn't it?
Yeah, and Don Goet is out to talk to his pitcher. Well, Synergy Field, Synergy, let's see. That sounds like an energy company, but no lights turned on.
Can't blame Marge Schott anymore.
She still owns 1%. I think our camera shot tells you how dark it is.
Here's Kile. Chance to help himself. Looks at his strike. So instead of having Kile lead off the 3rd, he comes to the plate here in the 2nd. With an RBI opportunity. He does have 2 RBIs on the year. Good play by LaRue behind the plate.
He can throw. They say he's very good at blocking balls in the dirt. The young guy came through their system and should be getting the bulk of the playing time.
1 ball, 1 strike on Kile. With Matheny at second. And here comes some rain.
We knew it was a very cloudy day, and we talked to one of the groundskeepers and said, oh, it's all clear all the way back to Nevada. And I'm looking up the sky and I'm going, are you kidding me?
It's been dark pretty much all weekend. Rain in and out of the forecast, and we escaped the first 2 days.
And the umpires did a nice job of getting that game in without a delay on Friday night, right? Because it was almost constant rain the entire way through.
Thank goodness they did, right?
Yeah. That's what happened to Brian Reef's second start in Chicago, where he was trailing, but then they had a rain delay and he didn't come back out afterwards.
On the verge of walking Kile here, and Darryl swings and misses. Or he just caught a piece, And it stays 3-2. May have been ball number 4 there.
Looked like that ball kind of took off and was running in on Darryl, and almost a little bit self-defense. There you see the decision against the Cubs. The no decision against the Cubs.
Matheny at second with 2 down. Kile pops it left side. Larson gives it a look, but that's out of play. And you can go into the dugouts here at Synergy Field and make a play.
Long first inning and somewhat long second inning. 43 pitches now, 22 of which are strikes. It's going to be interesting to see what happens the next 3 days here in Cincinnati with the Cubs coming in town.
Kile pops it up on the infield. Casey calls for it, and he puts it away. So the Cardinals strand a man. Matheny at second. They've stranded 2 in the game, but they have the lead here in Cincinnati through an inning and a half. It's 1-0 St. Louis. Tonight on WB11, beginning at 6, you will be seeing double. Don't miss 2 hilarious episodes of Eddie Murphy's The PJs, followed by back-to-back episodes of The Steve Harvey Show. The laughs begin fast and furious tonight at 6, only here on WB11.
Danny, you know, with the Reds, they just left Chicago where they were swept, and in that final game, you know, Don Baylor made some parting shots so it could be interesting the next 3 days where Baylor said, well, it looked like, you know, John Lieber threw a 1-hitter at him, shut him out. First time they've been shut out in 209 games, a National League record, and said, Looked like they had a plane to catch. Nobody was into it. A lot of first ball swinging. And I don't know why a manager would ever say something like that to wake up a team.
Bob Boone took exception to that.
Well, all the players
Obviously,
did
he should too. Yeah. Here's Ruben Rivera. Looks at a ball. 2 balls and a strike. The rain has subsided. It's more of a mist for about a minute or two, and that's gone away. Cardinals have the lead of 1-0. An RBI double by J.D. Drew back in the first. 3-1.
Kind of a slow-paced game. You just hope Darryl doesn't get caught up in the long half innings when he's waiting.
Kile has given up a base hit, a double to Young back in the first. Swing and a miss, and a big cut there by Rivera. Full count. Larson and Selby due up after Rivera. Looks more like their AAA affiliate here. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Strikeout number 2 on the afternoon for Darryl Kile.
Get him to chase a ball that's out of the strike zone. He reached for it, took all the power out of the swing, and even if he would have hit it, wouldn't have gone anyplace.
Here's Brandon Larson hitting .043. He's shown he can play defensively at this level, just not hit. Hits sharply to third. Polanco stays with it. Guns and got him. He was playing in anyway. And at third, Al, all you have to do is knock it down so many times when it's hit that hard.
And just keep it in the vicinity. And we always like him. He's always ready to play. Good fundamental technique. And Brandon Larson is now 1 for 24. Hits it to his counterpart, and Polanco is as steady as Brandon is. And really, the first 4 batters in this Reds lineup really should give the only trouble for Darryl. When he goes from Rivera to Larson to Selby to Castro to the pitcher spot, he should absolutely dominate.
Yep. Here is Selby with 2 away. Hitting under 200.
One of the columnists here in Cincinnati wrote an article that said, you know, we don't have to wait to 2000. We'll have to wait to 2003 to see the ballpark, but we can see 2003 players right now.
And he's right.
Talking about Larson and Selby, this hitter right here.
A lot of talk about Pokey Reese. Why is he not playing short now? And why did you sign Barry Larkin to $27 million, 3-year contract?
Well, you know, I mean, you know you're going to be in a small market. You're not going to be going into that new ballpark for a couple more years. You've lost 14,000 seats. You got to pay Griffey and Larkin. What kind of other team can you put around?
Right.
And now you got some of these guys that you're trying to lock up to long-term contracts. And Pokey Reese is one of them. Casey.
Dimitri Young.
Dimitri. And you wonder if they have enough money to do so.
Slap by Selby the opposite way. A one-hopper off the wall. So just like the first, it's a 2-out stand-up double against Kile, and that'll bring in Castro.
Ball out away from his bat is a little bit lively, but one hops the wall.
And here is Castro hitting .215. The Reds had a chance in the first with 2 down after Young had doubled, but Casey popped. And Pujols at first, and now Mike Matheny wants to talk it over with Kile and get the signs correct.
Well, not only that, I think it's just to remind him, you got the pitcher spot in the order. You got Castro up here. He's got a 4-game hitting streak, but he's only 4 for 13 during that time. But he has 9 hits in his last 54 at-bats, 167.
What's on Tap is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Make sure and tune in tomorrow afternoon on the holiday. WB11, Al Raboski and Carpenter. 1 o'clock tomorrow on WB11. What's on tap? Brought to you by Bud Light.
In case Castro didn't get a clean shave. They're trying to get him. Ball just gets away up there. No harm.
Selby is at second with 2 down. Breaking ball. Fouled away. Look out.
You know, Danny, when we talk about you got to really dominate the low end of the order. Sometimes a pitcher, you know, just knows that and kind of takes it for granted. When you dominate, you really got an extra concentration. Bear down on it.
Drops down. That's the first time he's done so in this game. 2-1. Breaking ball, pretty well hit into right. Drew going back, makes the play at the track. So that double is erased by Selby as Castro lines out to Drew and right. The Reds have left a couple in this game after 2. 1-0 St. Louis. Hey, Cardinal fans, every Friday during the season, it's Busch Bash night at the ballpark. Come to the Southwest Airlines Family Pavilion every Friday throughout the season for a pregame party featuring live bands, former players, and the opportunity to win tickets for the Busch Bleacher Zone. Each fan in the zone has a chance to win up to $5,000, all courtesy of Busch Beer. That's Busch Bash night for every Friday night game at Busch Stadium.
That guy's got some stitches.
What would propel you to come to a game and put something like that on your head? And why? What's the point? Look at me, but I can't see you anyway, so what's the point? You look like a moron.
I bet she's really enthused.
You look like a complete moron. Hi, this is my boyfriend.
Are we even sure?
I'm really happy to be here with him. One ball, 1 strike on Vina, who was hit by a pitch for the 11th time this season. To start the game, stole a base and scored a run. And you're watching Cardinals baseball on WB11, KPLR St. Louis, and the Cardinal Television Network. Vina skies it down the right field line. Ochoa giving chase. But that's out of play. 1-2. You're right. I shouldn't have presumed that that was her boyfriend. Comes the 1-2 to Vina. Not what he wanted to do. He pops it up on the infield. Third baseman Larson has it. Out number 1 here in the 3rd.
See all these pop-ups, indication of the ball moving well. That's what Easler told me, that there was a lot of late tailing action to his pitches.
That's what Polanco did his first time as he popped out to Larson. A 3-2 pitch, hitting .329. 1 out, nobody on, and a 1-0 St. Louis lead here in the 3rd. J.D. Drew is on deck. He has a lone RBI in this game. Placido looks at a ball. Pitch count. Brian Reed, their right-hander, is getting up there already. Probably at 50 or over 50. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reds pitchers have allowed at least 1 home run in each of their last 16 games. 22 home runs overall in that span. And the club record of 13 games was established back in 1955, but that's been shattered this season. Reds are just hoping to stick around as they'll get Pete Harnish back. He threw on the side today. The in the next couple of weeks, and then they hope to have, of course, Griffey and Boone. Pokey Reese has missed time. May see him as a defensive replacement, but their everyday lineup has not been in there. And if they can just hang around because of the way that the schedule is set up now in the 2001 season, you can gain ground pretty quickly, and they're going to see the Cubs, who are in first place with the Cardinals, tomorrow. Fouled away again. 2-2.
Well, it all boils down to pitching. Most people thought that that was going to be the Achilles heel for the Reds, and it has not been.
Nope.
May remain to be seen. There you see Harnish.
They've got Reith and Rob Bell, Osvaldo Fernandez, Rietsma, who we saw last night. The 2-2 popped up again by Polanco. Behind home plate, LaRue makes a nice play for out number 2. He's been impressive in this series defensively.
Catch and throw, and Boone's very happy with both LaRue and Stinnett. And right up against the fence right there, jumps up and catches it for it, and did not hit the screen.
Of course, Bob Boone should know a thing or two about catchers.
Yep. Bob, prior to taking the job on the field, had been an assistant to Jim Bowden in the last 3 years.
J.D. Drew with an RBI double today. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ron Oster was thought to possibly be the manager here in Cincinnati, and that did not happen. And it's Bob Boone.
There's some debate as to whether, you know, a handshake for Ron Oster, and you know, they're offered him X amount of dollars, and he said, well, I need more than that. Thought he had at least 24 hours to think about it and negotiate the contract. And next day he found out that via radio report that Bob Boone had been hired as the manager. Bob had previously managed in Kansas City, part of a 3-generation baseball family.
Drew goes the opposite way for his second hit. 2-out base hit for J.D. He's 2 for 2. That'll bring in Pujols. Good job of hitting here by J.D.
It really is, because he gets so pull conscious. It's good for him to stay on a pitch and go with it the opposite field.
A lot of talk about Jim Bowden kind of losing control as the general manager of the Reds, and something that he did was sign Ken Hill to a minor league contract, and Don Gullett, their pitching coach, had no idea that he had even been signed. The lack of communication.
I think what is more serious is the reports, and Pokey Reese even stated it publicly, that you know, you can't ever trust anytime his mouth's working, you know, lies are coming out. You know, that's pretty strong medicine. Heard that, you know, his credibility has really gone down in the game of baseball. What he has done here has been brilliant for how creative he's been with lack of funds to work with.
Here's Pujols, ahead of the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Drew is off and running. Pujols hits it up the middle. Because he's running, they couldn't get him at second, but a nice play made by Castro to get Pujols, who does not run that well. And Albert today is 0 for 2. So the Cardinals leave a man. They've left 3 in the game. Albert 0 for 2, J.D. 2 for 2, and the Cardinals lead it 1-0. Cardinals have the lead, and there's a look at some of the folks in attendance here today. Jim Bowden, general manager of the Cincinnati Reds, 1-0 St. Louis. And let's turn to today's AutoZone division standings. In the National League Central, Cardinals and Cubs are both 27-20. Milwaukee 2 games out. Houston 3 back. Cincinnati 7.5 out after the win last night. Pittsburgh is 12 games out. They are in the cellar. Reith to lead things off, the rookie, against Darryl Kile. Fastball and a strike here in the bottom half of the third. Reith, Ochoa, and LaRue. Kile has given up a couple of hits. Both have been doubles, and both have come with 2 outs after retiring the first 2 men in both the first and second. Young got a double, and then Selby last inning. And there's strikeout number 3 for Darryl Kile. You mentioned Bob Boone, the father-son combinations here in the major leagues, player-manager combinations. Ray Boone, Bob's father, was an all-star infielder. He had a 13-year major league career. Brett Boone, Aaron's brother, plays for the Mariners. Matt Boone is their youngest brother. He plays in the Tigers organization. Of course, you have the Bells, Moises and Philippe Alou, McRae's, Ripkins, Hairston, some of the combinations. Here's Ochoa, rounded out to Pujols at first in his only at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Darryl's got 3 strikeouts today. Last time out, 10.
Breaking ball, pretty well hit into center. That's in the gap. Edmonds comes over to get it, and it's a double for Alex Ochoa.
Kyle's allowed 3 hits, and all 3 of them have been doubles. First 2 came after 2 outs. This one after 1 out. Right off the end of the bat.
So Ochoa is at second. It brings in LaRue, who's a strikeout victim this afternoon. 1 of 3 on the afternoon for Darryl Kile. Just 1 out here in the third. The Reds are trying to tie it up. Dimitri Young is on deck. th career appearance against Cincinnati for Darryl Kile. 2-0 a year ago.
Good fastball, and he's been able to spot that. Throws so many curveballs that occasionally you're going to hang one or someone's going to guess, but even when you guess curveball, you can pound it in the dirt.
By the way, Al, Kile is just 6 strikeouts away from 1,500 in his career. 32 years of age, 6'5" right-hander.
Let's pick up 6 more today and plus.
One pitch, swing and a miss. It's been fantastic. His brief tenure with the Cardinals, 26-12. 44 games as a member of the Redbirds. 20-game winner last season.
It's so important for him to be the ace and then take that pressure off the Morrises.
Drops down and fouled back.
Really, I think the Cardinals' philosophy is the right one, where we got 5 aces. Whoever's on the mound that day is our ace. There's Matty. He'll be towing the rubber tomorrow, looking for his 7th victory.
By the way, he said he's feeling much better after kind of being under the weather during this road trip. LaRue tied up, and there's a strikeout. 2nd time that he has struck out in the game. And that's out number 2.
He's
strikeout number 4.
Watch this pitch here. You talk about a hitter. He gets tied up. That ball just kind of ran back in on him. And, they would drop down sidearm, so you think it's going to be away, and then the ball just kind of got away from him and started drifting back in. Overall numbers, but much better ratio when he's been pitching wearing the Cardinal uniform.
Here's Dimitri Young, who has doubled here today. Casey is on deck. There's 2 outs with the Cho at second. 3 doubles for the Reds today. They have 3 hits. The next from Kile. Popped into shallow left. Robinson a long way to come. Makes the play. Kerry Robinson near the foul line puts it away for out number 3. The Reds strand another man. They've stranded 3 in this game today. We'll move to the 4th, and the Cardinals have the lead by the score of 1-0. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for our steak burgers, and by Hyundai dealers, where driving is believing. Test drive one at your local Hyundai dealer today. You can see it's a much different look at Synergy Field in Cincinnati here in the 2001 season, as 14,000 seats have been eliminated from the left field line all the way into right center field. And beyond that wall is the construction of their new ballpark, which will open up play in 2003. And behind the home plate area is their brand new football stadium, which opened up this past NFL campaign. Edmonds will step in. It'll be Edmonds, Renteria, and Kerry Robinson. Jim today popped out to the third baseman Larson. It's 1-0 St. Louis on the RBI double by J.D. Drew. And Edmonds has seen his average dip to .319.
He'll get it going again. Not for lack of effort. He's been working hard trying to get out of a little bad habit.
Ground ball right side. Casey is there. The flip. Edmonds is 0 for 2. He came in this long road trip in the top 5 in hitting. He's dropped now out of the top 10. Rich Aurelia leads the league at .360. San Francisco, Albert Pujols came in second. He's 0 for 2 though today. Came in at .355. Then Lance Berkman, Walker, and Perez.
Edmonds came into the first game of the road trip batting .380.
Oof. Here's Renteria.
65 pitches, and before that one 66, and now what, 34 of them have been strikes and 32 balls. Not exactly the ratio you'd like.
One ball, one strike on the Redbirds shortstop. Fly to right in his only at bat today. Edmonds now is down to .317 after starting, what, .380 you said on the road trip?
First game in Pittsburgh.
Renteria, hot shot past third, and that's a 1-out base hit. He's 1 for 2, and that'll bring in Kerry Robinson.
He's starting to heat it up a little bit. It comes in slow bunches, but modest 3-game hitting streak for Renteria, and getting more and more hits off of right-handed pitching.
Do you agree he doesn't seem to be as tied up with his hands? Bat looks just a little quicker.
Yeah,
last week or two.
You know, I think whatever's going on with him, you know, it's just sort of offensively and defensive slumps. We all know he's one of the better young shortstops and all-around shortstops.
Here's Kerry Robinson making the start. He has been good as a starter. Defensively, he came in late on Friday night. Part of a great play in right field. Then today in left field, near that foul line, had a long way to come. He's got that great speed, and he uses it. Lots of room to slap it. Renteria's off and running. Throw down to second. He is in there. The Cardinals have 2 or 3 in the afternoon in the stolen base department for Edgar Renteria. That's stolen base number 3.
Even with a good throwing catcher, you can go if you get a good jump. The whole key is to get that jump. You see, he got a little bit of a running start and close play, but he gets that legs in there. Slide feet first, You're always going to look like you get there quicker, and in case that guy at middle infield is going to be a little reluctant to put that tag down on you too.
Vigna has a stolen base, and now Renteria does. The only man that's been caught is the man at the plate, and that's Robinson. This is pretty well hit into right center.
Tag up.
Rivera is there and drops it. That's his 6th error of the season. Renteria is going to be held up at third. Wow. Very easily could be his 2nd error in the game. He let a ball on a ground ball get past him, but they did not charge him with an error. But this one they certainly will.
You see the sunglasses there, but he doesn't have them flipped down, does he? And right in the web, then pops right out. So why not flip them down? You know, the sun's been in and out, kind of shielding his eyes a little bit with his glove, but boy, you just can't allow that when you're struggling. Oof.
Infield in. They do have first base open with Kile on deck, so they may elect to pitch around Mike Matheny, who has a base hit, a double.
One of the things they say about this young Ryan Reith is that he doesn't let little things phase him a little bit. He has the, you know, the moxie to go out there, and you know, for a lot of guys you automatically just intentionally walk a guy, but they feel that he knows what's going on in the game, that he can pitch according to situations.
Matheny swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. The first pitch looked like it may have been a strike. They appealed, but our umpires said Mike Matheny held up.
Now, Mike's got to be smart enough too to know the circumstances and don't help out a pitcher by going after pitches that are not strikes.
Ruben Rivera has given the Cardinals a chance here with his 6th error of the season in center field, dropping a seemingly harmless fly ball. There's a strike on a fastball to Mike Matheny. 1-2. Kile awaits on deck. A good opportunity here with 2nd and 3rd and just 1 out.
You know what Mike was thinking on that pitch. Fastball, middle half in.
The 1-2 pitch to Mike Matheny. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Big strikeout already in this game. First strikeout for the rookie.
Came inside and sinking action.
With 2 outs, it's up to Kile. 2nd and 3rd. Darrell's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. With a pop-up to Sean Casey at first. Vigna waits on deck if Kile can extend the inning. Darrell's not an automatic out. He swings the bat all right.
No. Make a mistake, he can hit it out of here too.
1-1. Afternoon game tomorrow, the first of a 4-game set as the Brewers come to town. Lines that one foul. He's in the hole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You would figure that there might be some fireworks that carry over, some bad blood from this past series in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee carried themselves very confident that their record was much different when they were on the road.
The 1-2 pitch. Got him. Kyle knew it. So the young right-hander gets 2 consecutive strikeouts to end the inning in a dangerous situation. The Cardinals have left 5 in the game, and they lead it by the score of 1-0. Move to the bottom of the 4th here at Centergy Field. Another big crowd. We had over 34,000 here last night. 1-0 Redbirds with the lead. J.D. Drew, the lone RBI in this game.
You were right.
About?
Baseball hit.
No.
It's a he.
It is a he. We have tickets, of course, coming up on this long homestand for the Cardinals. 421-2400, or check out the Cardinals on the web at stlcardinals.com. Great promotional day tomorrow at Busch Stadium with Six Flags Day and plenty of good seats available. So please come on down to the ballpark. We'd love to see you there. Sean Casey leads things off, followed by Rivera and Larson. Family of 4. It's Six Flags Day tomorrow, by the way. A family of 4 can save up to over $60 on your next visit to Six Flags. So come on down. We've got bobblehead day and Budweiser Visor Night coming up.
Kid's hat on Saturday. We got the Cardinal hat with the Mark McGuire autograph on it. Great promotionals. Great weekend. Great weekend homestand.
Yep. Here's Sean Casey, the 1-1 pitch, up and away. 2 balls and a strike. Casey battled through injuries a year ago, and now he is healthy to start this season, and you can see he's one of the premier hitters in the league when he is healthy. He's 0 for 1 today. Fastball misses in. 3-1. Darryl Kile making his 11th start, a team high in that department here today.
And Danny, we got an 8-game homestand. 4 games both against Milwaukee and Cincinnati, and then we're out on the road for another 10 days.
A rope into center, but Edmonds is there and puts it away for out number 1. Interleague play is just right around the corner with Kansas City and the White Sox. One of the things we saw on Friday night with Jim Edmonds, it was a ball hit pretty much just like the one we saw off the bat of Casey, and with the lights and with the situation here at Synergy Field, they have moved the home plate area back by about 10 feet, but they didn't take into account how you adjust with the lights, and there's a base hit for Rivera in the center. 1-out base hit. Jim almost got his head taken off at one point, but can't blame the lights on that last one. It looked like he just jumped up on him.
Yeah, it just took off. You know, that line driver right at you. Difficult to judge the height.
1-out base hit for Rivera, and that'll bring in Larson, hitting 0-42.
Time for double play then. 1 for 24 on the year. He's played very good defense.
Made a fantastic play on Friday night up the line to Rob Renteria. But to stick around, he's going to have to hit a little better than this. 0 for 1 today with a ground out. Placido Polanco hit the ball sharply, but Polanco stayed with it and made a nice play. Fastball and a strike.
And Aaron Boone is eligible to come off, I think, on Thursday. Broke his hand when he was hit by a Wade Miller pitch.
The 0-1 pitch here. Outside. The next road trip will be in Chicago, Colorado, Kansas City. We'll come home for almost 2 weeks. Long homestand. Two balls and a strike. Cardinals come into today's action tied with Chicago, both at 27 and 20. Chicago playing Milwaukee today. Out west, 5 teams all have a chance to run away with that. San Francisco and Colorado in the basement, but they're only 2 games out.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I guess Tony the other day asked who you think is going to win that, and I'd have to say my first inclination. We haven't seen any of those teams, but I'd say the Dodgers because of the pitching.
We did see Colorado.
Well, we didn't have a Colorado. We didn't want to see Colorado. And we're going to see them again.
Coming up. Ground ball left side. Polanco on a fair ball. Couldn't make the play. And it's first and second.
I'll give a hit for that, I'm sure. The line is trying to backhand it. Came up and hit him in the heel of the glove. That's why it pops out. Try to recover, and they scored a base hit. So
base hit given to Larson. First and second as Selby steps in. And here's a look at our trivia question brought to you by Suntrip. In what season did the Cardinals have two pitchers with 23 complete games each? (1908). Johnny Lush. Mr. Lush. Breaking ball, a strike. I'm assuming you didn't have any idea about that trivia question.
no, I did not.
Okay.
To be honest.
Selby today has a double. The 0-1.
Yeah, back even in the 60s and 70s, it wouldn't be uncommon to have somebody have 23 complete games. But to have two guys, it's a bit rare.
Larson is at first. Rivera at second. Breaking ball is fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The National League East, Philadelphia is on top by 6 games. Atlanta has really come back to the pack. They have started out basically the last 10 seasons just running away with that division, but they're at 500. Phillies lead it by 6. Florida 7.5 back. New York, the big surprise, at 21 and 28. They're 9.5 games out. And Montreal in the cellar.
Philadelphia's won 4 in a row. Played 7 and 3 last 10.
Lifted into center. Edmonds to his right and puts it away for out number 2. And it's up to Castro. Juan Castro is 0 for 1. He flying to right. His first at bat.
Ball pretty good out there.
Reds today have 5 hits, 3 doubles, but nothing to show for it. Darryl Kile's trying to pick up his 7th victory of the season. Pitcher Reith is on deck. First and second, 2 away. That's fouled away into the seats. Nine pitchers are tied with 6 wins. Kyle being one of them, along with Matt Morris. And then Mike Hampton of Colorado with 7. Schilling has 8 victories. It's tops in the National League. Quickly 0-2 on the shortstop, Castro.
So what Darryl needs to do is get ahead, and then they expand the strike zone, get Castro to get himself out. You have the pitcher leading off next inning.
Darryl has 4 strikeouts today. Good pitch there, 1-2. Cardinals have held or shared first place now for 14 straight days. That's when they swept the Cubs. There's strikeout number 5. Thank you very much. The Reds strand a couple. They've left 5 in the game. We'll move to the 5th, and the Cardinals have a 1-0 lead. Hey, Cardinal fans, if you are planning to take your family to Six Flags next month, the Cardinals and Six Flags have teamed up to offer families one of the best values of the summer. Tomorrow, 1:10 is the start. The Brewers and the Cardinals, free kids admission coupon to Six Flags. Six Flags Day, 1:10 start. And again, $12 off any adult general admission ticket at Six Flags. You get the kids admission ticket for free. It's a value of over $60. Good seats still remain, so stop on by tomorrow at 1:10. The Brewers in town. Top of the order for St. Louis. Here's Vigna. Fouls a bunt attempt back. And he's 0 for 1. Was hit by a pitch and came around to score back in the first. The 11th time that's happened to Vigna this season. Leads the National League in singles with 45. Larson even with the bag at 3rd. Vigna tries it the other way.
He's got it.
Base hit for Fernando.
All you do, run it hard enough, get it by that pitcher.
Kind of see he was peeking too right before that pitch.
Peak location. Hook it, and see the big tall right-hander kind of falls a little bit to third base side. Pull it by him. Second baseman can't get there. Kind of in that triangle where no one's there, and another bunt base hit for Vigna. That's his 3rd bunt base hit of the year.
Fernando has a stolen base in this game. He now has 7 to lead the club. And now the Cardinals have been aggressive here today.
Yeah, I think what they basically have said, if you get the jump, you can go. See, infield hits, Cardinals have 55 of them, 9 of which are Fernando's.
Bomarito Automotive Group leaderboard. That includes the latest by Fernando Vigna. He's hit first. Polanco moving him over. Sacrifice for Placido, and that'll bring in J.D. Drew, who is 2 for 2 and has the only RBI of the day.
So he's trying to do whatever he can. I think we all like to see a much more aggressive Cardinal attack on the base paths, but Tony, you know, when he tells guys not to go, it's for a reason. Times don't match up. But here's an indication where the guy that is slow to the plate, they'll try and take advantage of it.
Here's J.D. Drew. J.D. has an RBI double back in the first and an opposite field base hit in the 3rd.
And you know, we were kind of led to believe that this ballpark was playing a lot smaller. We've had cooler weather, and so maybe in warm weather it'll jump better.
It's what the people in Cincinnati were saying when we first got here. They said with the cold weather, you will not see the ball jump out of here, but when it gets hot, he said the ball just is flying everywhere.
Well, I remember this, to me, was one of the best home run ballparks to begin with.
Drew ahead in the count, 2-0. He looks at a strike.
And the new ballpark, for some reason, I just can't figure it out, it's going to have a very short right field porch.
Guy named Griffey's going to be around for a while.
That's right. I forgot. You know.
Take advantage of that.
But I mean, you know, you build the ballpark for 50 years. We're not talking about the senior. We're talking about his son, Junior. Seems like a little, you know, kind of trick it up to.
Full count on Drew. He thought it was ball number 4.
Show him what you can do with the next pitch then.
Albert Pujols is on deck. Just 1 out here in the 5th with Beanie at 2nd. The 3-2 to Drew. High fly ball down the right field Ochoa giving chase, makes the play. And Vina back to second. Kind of surprised he wasn't tagging, but I think he thought that was going to get down. And with Ochoa's strong arm, he was going to try to come around. Now they have first base open. Pujols will step in with 2 outs.
A lot of times, you know, you take your lead, you get halfway. See, he got more than that. He thought the ball was going to get down. You kind of go halfway, and then you interpret whether it's going to be caught or not. If it's caught, get back to tag up, and if it gets down, you got a head start on the way home.
Kind of caught no man's land.
That did take a running catch. And maybe from his angle is a little different than ours too.
Albert Pujols is 0 for 2. Drew now is 2 for 3. And the pitch count for the young right-hander Brian Reith is getting up there near 100. He's at 88. Trying to get through 5 here. He's first up in their order in the bottom half. Vina at second, 2 away. Good hack there by Albert. 1-1. Pujols today has grounded to third and grounded to short. Took a good play by Castro his last time up to get Mr. Pujols, who's second in the league in hitting. Leads the club in RBIs with 47. You're right, Al. We have seen on this road trip more times than not pitchers going inside to Pujols.
Yeah. Like I said, he found himself that he was really crouching down much more. He normally stands a little more erect. What happened to him a lot of times is when he would kind of jump at the ball, and you create that little hitch so they could get inside on him. And it kind of messed him up on breaking balls. So that's kind of like after the Friday night where he struck out 3 times. He knew he was going to do some damage where they were going to try and pitch him inside, be able to turn on a pitch, and also that he'd get a lot of breaking balls. And you know, we know he's very capable of hitting both.
The time is called. Albert remains the lone Cardinal to have played in each of the team's first 48 games, starting all but 2 of these games. Vina at second with 2 down. The 2-2 pitch. Full count with Jim Edmonds on deck. Kind of like watching Drew in that 3 spot and Edmonds behind Pujols.
Well, when Edmonds had that terrific start last year, it was because he was hitting fit. Then he said, you know, if I hit in front of McGuire, I'll score 130 runs, and that's pretty much what he did.
Albert sticks the bat out. Shallow left. Diving play by Young. He saves a run. The Cardinals have left 6 in the game, and Dimitri Young keeps it a 1-run St. Louis lead. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 is brought to you by CarX Auto Service. More than you thought for less than you think. 18 neighborhood locations. And by Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it. Well, Dimitri Young here at Synergy Field has kept it a 1-run St. Louis lead. A good play in left field. Looked like he would kind of misjudge this off the bat on a check swing, or somewhat of a check swing of Albert Pujols, and he came in and made the big dramatic play to end the top half of the inning.
Yeah, it just I'm not sure he needed to leave his feet, but it sure looks a lot prettier for the fans.
Pitcher Reith will hit for himself. He struck out in his only at bat. It darkens up again here at Synergy Field with clouds overhead, and he knocks this one into left center. Robinson is there and puts it away.
Gary's fun to watch as he got the good wheels. They had played him way around to right field, so that's why Carey had the long run into left center.
Top of the order now for the Reds with 1 down. And here is some rain beginning to fall once again for the second time today. Very light. Barely even noticeable. Ochoa and LaRue. Alex Ochoa is 1 for 2. He has a double. He looks at a strike from Kile. Mike Matthews was credited with his first win as a major league starter last Thursday. That upped the combined win total of the Cardinals starting pitchers to 22. That's now tied with Seattle for second behind LA. They have 23 among all the starting staffs in the major leagues. The starters a year ago of the Cardinals had 76 wins. Strikeout of Ochoa. Let's make this a quick inning. Strikeout number 6.
Dale's doing his part to try and make it quick, and he has really pitched. Look at that tailing action, the ball coming back to the corner.
Pitch count for Darryl Kile at 70. Very efficient so far. He's ahead in the count here on LaRue, who has struck out twice. His last time up, he was really tied up on an inside fastball that almost hit him, but he was swinging. Just tailed back in. A lazy fly ball to Edmonds in a 1-2-3 inning for Darryl Kile as the raindrops begin to fall here in Cincinnati. We're through 5. Kile and the Cardinals in control. They lead it 1-0. The WB11 Weekend News Crew is working feverishly to bring you all the latest news and sports and weather. Join Jeff Bernthal, Melanie Moon, Marquina Brown, and Dan Issa for WB11 News at 9 tonight following the WB. WB11 News at 9 comes your way tonight.
Well, now she has it on. Well, it's raining. At least she's smart.
Only when it rains will she put it on, probably.
You notice how much better it looks on her than him?
I kind of rather enjoyed it on hers.
On her, it looks better, doesn't it?
Right.
On her rather than him. I'll get you that for Christmas.
One ball, one strike on Edmonds.
Can't get Jimmy to do something right.
He's 0 for 2 today. Renteria to foul, then Robinson. Takes a strike. 1-2. Edmonds has a home run in this series, and he tattoos that into right for a leadoff base hit.
That's the way we expect Jimmy to hit the ball.
1 for 3 on the afternoon, and that'll bring in Renteria, who also has a base hit. The Cardinals on the day have 6 hits.
Second hit in the series, and this one he hits with authority. Ball up there, and the grimace, he hit it hard.
Edmonds does not have a stolen base yet this season. He's at first. Nobody out in the 6th, and here's the Redbirds shortstop Renteria. Shows bunt, takes a strike, and the Cardinals have played a little bit of small ball this afternoon.
I think they've had to. You know, this kid has pitched when he had guys on base. They have stranded 6 to this point. Lost a man trying to steal.
Not a very big lead by Edmonds at first. Renteria hits it left side and a base hit. That's his second hit in the afternoon, and the first 2 men have reached. And Reith may be tiring just a bit. He's approaching 100 pitches. And it's first and second. Here's Kerry Robinson.
Renteria gets a pitch, just pulls it through the hole on the right side. They had Castro, the shortstop, up towards the middle. There's no activity yet. This is Bob Boone going out to talk to his young pitcher as they're taking the tarps off the pitcher's mound in the bullpen. You're down at the low end of the Cardinals order. Mercado Lefty's starting to get loose.
First and second, nobody out. And let's see what Kerry Robinson wants to do here for Tony La Russa. Lots of options.
Yeah. 99 pitches for Reed, 57 of which have been strikes. Kerry Robinson went down and talked to Jose Oquendo, and they may have, you got the bunch, but you might be the slug bunch. Pressure's on the defense, not the Cardinals right now.
Larson is guarding the line at third. He's way in, so if he wants to slap it that way, plenty of room, because Castro is near second base, and we've seen Robinson the majority of the time just slap it the other way.
Yeah, that's his strength, is to go into left field. He walked the first time up, then he hit that ball out into right center, and which was dropped by the center fielder Vera for his 6th error of the season.
Watching Cardinals baseball on WB11, KPLR St. Louis, and the Cardinal Television Network. Swinging away there. 0-2. Mike Matheny is on deck. He's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Robinson hitting .360.
3 RBIs. They've all come on this road trip in the last few days.
The 0-2. Slaps it into left. Dimitri Young on the run, makes the play, and gets it in very quickly. Good play by Dimitri in left for out number 1. That'll bring in Matheny. Dimitri's gotten much better, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's part of that just comes with playing time and experience and working on it. I don't think Dimitri is ever afraid to work.
Let's see what Mike Matheny can do with first and second, 1 down. He's doubled and struck out, and he struck out in a key spot in this game with second and third and less than 2 outs. The rain picks up a bit here at Centergy Field. Kile is on deck. Reed has now thrown over 100 pitches. Bob Boone, you want to see him get out of this inning. The rain is really picking up now. Mike Matheny shoots it down the right field line. Ochoa gives it a look, but that's into the seats. You can tell a lot of these fans now heading for some cover. Hit it off his foot or his instep. Cardinals have left 6 on the afternoon. They've had some opportunities in this game. Lead it by the score of 1-0. J.D. Drew an RBI double back in the first to drive in Vina. Lit off the game, getting hit by a pitch for this big rookie. Matheny in the hole, 1-2.
He has to tell Mike that this is a crucial at bat for him. Failed the last time up. Did get a double first time up, and boy, that would look nice now.
He taps that away.
And he's just out there not letting the ball come to him. He's reaching for everything.
Two and 2 the count. Darryl Kile awaits on deck. It's first and second with just 1 down. We're in the 6th and a 1-0 Redbird lead. Just missed inside.
Inside. Boy, it'd be a gutsy move, 3-2, 1 out to send the runners.
I'd like to see it, though. Kile due up.
It's gutsy. You just got to bank that he makes some contact, and you don't want the line drive double play either.
Next to Matheny, they're off and running. Ground ball left side. Booted by the third baseman.
That's why you wanted to see it. You start running them, puts distractions for the fielders. You worry about a line drive or a swing and a miss, but it doesn't change the scoring. But you know, you sense all this kind of stuff.
Second error in the game charged against the Reds. The other was to Rivera. Larson boots that one, and the bases are loaded for Darryl Kile.
Now Darryl's got to make contact.
Edmonds, Renteria, and Matheny on the base pass.
Hopefully at least a sacrifice fly. You almost have to think that this is going to be his last batter.
You got Mercado warming up, the left-hander, and Vigna, of course, hits from the left side, and he's on deck. Edmonds is at third. Renteria at second. And Matheny, who reached on the air, is at first, just one out. Let's see what Kile can do here to help himself. Rain again is picked up. Corners are in. Swing and a miss. Good swing there by Darryl. Middle infielders are back playing for the double play. The outfield is shallow. Kile has popped out to first and struck out. 0 for 2 on the day. The 0-1 pitch to Kile. He was on the pitch. Now in the hole, 0-2.
Good rip right there.
Very much a key spot in this game, a chance to break it open for Darryl Kile. Last inning on the mound at his first 1, 2, 3 innings, so he's in a groove. Got him. Third strikeout in the game for Reith, and that will be all for him. Bob Boone will make a pitching change here.
Boy, this youngster showed that he can pitch up here at the major league level, definitely.
Yeah. So Brian Reith is done for the afternoon. He'll exit with the bases loaded. The lefty Mercado. We saw him last night. He'll come into the game, and he'll face Fernando Vigna in a key spot. With 2 outs and a 1-0 St. Louis lead. 1-0 St. Louis. The rain is just about stopped. A light mist here at Synergy Field, and Vigna will step in against Mercado. We saw him last night. Hector Mercado. Yesterday he was recalled from AAA Louisville. Had a couple of strikeouts. This is his second stint with the Reds this season. Let's see what Vigna can do here with the bases loaded and 2 outs and a chance to add to this 1-0 lead.
Little contact hitter, guy that can get on a little ways. Mercado throws the ball pretty good. Everything's hard.
First pitch to Vigna is a ball. He was hit by a pitch to start the game. Popped up to the third baseman Larson in his second at bat and singled in his last at bat in the 5th. He also has a stolen base, now 7 on the year. Bases loaded.
Just starting to get a right-hander warmed up in the Reds bullpen.
1-0 pitch to Vigna. High fly ball lifted into center. Rivera going back in front of the track and puts it away. So Vigna leaves the bases loaded. The Cardinals have had good chances today. They've left 9 though on the afternoon. We are through 5 1/2 and the Redbirds holding on. They lead at 1-0. history is brought to you by Schnucks. May 27th, 1937. Hall of Famer Carl Hubbell earns his 24th consecutive victory. And the Giants 3-2 win over the Reds. This day in baseball history brought to you by Schnucks. Darryl Kile in the 5th inning had his first 1-2-3 inning of the afternoon. The Reds have 5 hits, and this is a dangerous part in the game. The Cardinals have not been able to cash in. They've left 9 on the afternoon, and now you have Young, Casey, and Rivera coming up for Cincinnati. Let's see if Darryl can bear down and get through this inning. He struck out 6 today. Dimitri Young made a nice play in left to save a run, and he flies this into left. Robinson is there. Good start. 5 straight set down. Make that 6 now. The fly ball off of Young's bat. And here's Casey.
And I said looked like a good start for the Cardinals. They scored a run in the first inning. And Darryl's 3 losses, the team has only scored 2 runs for him. So I'm thinking, wow, we're going to score a lot of runs today. Well, we've had some opportunities, but haven't been able to cash in. Your ace is having to pitch a shutout to hold the lead.
The way that he's throwing, that might be just enough.
Might be enough, but just for insurance, let's add on.
Here's Casey. 0 for 2 today. Turns away from a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. When McGuire comes off the disabled list, Tony La Russa indicated yesterday to me that they're going to stay with 12 pitchers like they have been. So some decisions coming up.
The one thing they do not want to do is bring him back too soon. And once he comes back, you want to make sure he's available on that roster all the way down through the stretch and postseason.
Breaking ball, a nasty one from Kile as Casey swings through it to even the count.
Darryl has one of the best breaking balls in the game. And boy, it goes all the way from the shoulders, top of the shoulders, down to the bottom of the knees. I had one of those in my sleep one time.
Casey drives this on a 2-2 pitch into right center, off the wall, and Edmonds will get it in. He's about 5 feet away from tying this game up. So with 1 out, it's a double, and the 4th double of the game for Cincinnati.
See Darryl shaking his head, did not like his pitch at all. And right into the wheelhouse of the left-handed swinger, hot swinger. It is an 8-foot wall until you start coming out there, and then it goes up to 12 foot. And then in dead center field, the backdrop, which is in play, goes 40 feet high. And now there's a ball out here, so the ball boy will take it off the diamond.
Here's Ruben Rivera. The rain now picks up once again. And I say it's not surprising that they're going to keep 12 pitchers, but one of the things that you have to certainly think about when McGuire returns is, number 1, he won't play every single day, and then you think about late innings and things like that, and getting him out to make sure that his knee is fully healed and healthy. So you might want an extra man. The rain is really coming down now. 1-0 pitch from Kile is in the dirt. 2-0.
That may be a factor, that the way Darryl's pitching, you wouldn't want to see him have a prolonged rain delay or something that could come back out. So let's hope it's just a brief little shower and we don't have to stop play.
Pitch number 81, fouled back by Rivera. It was 1 for 2 on the afternoon with a strikeout and a base hit.
You can see Jerry Crawford, the crew chief, looking up, checking it out, kind of shaking his head. The last thing they want to is to have a stoppage in play. And now there is. So he's signaled off. Bring in the grounds crew.
The Reds have gone through a bunch of rain delays in the last week or so, and in particular at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. So with a count of 2-1 and 1 out here in the 6th, and Sean Casey at second, we have our first rain delay of the afternoon.
Grounds crew lied to me.
They lied to me too. I asked them and they said, no, there's no rain going on here. Yeah, right. Looking out towards left field and center, it's fairly bright. It's not as bad, but overhead certainly dark. And we have ourselves a rain delay. Reith went 5 2/3, their starter, through 112 pitches, 67 of which were strikes, and he gave up 7 hits and just 1 run, and looked pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's just, 23 years of age. You look at Rietsma, who pitched on Friday night, pitched very well. Elmer Descends pitched extremely well last night and everything. So with all their injuries, and some of them are to their pitching staff, but they've been able to go down into their minor league system and bring up guys that have done the job for them. Position-wise, they look like they're a little bit lacking. You wouldn't know it by this score. 1-0 lead for the Cardinals. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Rivera when we resume play with 1 out, and Casey out at second base here in the 6th inning.
And for our affiliates along the line, we will provide programming during this rain delay. And if you do not wish to carry that, make sure you monitor the lines to find out when we come back and have baseball. It's 1-0. A rain delay here in the bottom half of the 6th with the Cardinals on top. So what we will do is turn it over to our rain delay programming with the grounds crew on the field. We'll update you throughout the next 10 to 15 minutes. It's a look at the all-century team in Major League Baseball during this rain delay. Very good so far. Meanwhile, where we stand right now, Sean Casey almost tying this game up in this inning. He hit one on the top portion of the wall for a double. The Reds have 4 doubles on the afternoon with their 6 hits. They called it at that point. So Casey is at second as we speak. Ruben Rivera is at the plate, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike, and that's where we stood with 1 out when this game was called. So we had a minor rain delay, a little over 20 minutes, and now we're ready to resume action.
That's 2 ball, 1 strike count, 1 out, and Casey out at second base. Rivera is the hitter. Darryl Kile will come back.
What do you have to watch out for if you're Darryl Kile here?
Well, Darryl's been in these situations. The biggest thing is you want to make sure you have full traction. It wasn't a long enough delay that you really have to worry about him having his arm hurt. They'll give him ample time to loosen up, and looked like we were going to begin a minute ago, but I think Kyle requested a couple more pitches, and he has the right to do so. I think the one thing is you want to make sure that you didn't get stiff. A lot of times when a guy will go in and change shirts, kind of try and keep a little bit active. He threw before they were manicuring the field. He threw a little bit in front of the dugout.
By the way, Mark Wohlers has been throwing in the bullpen for Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's an easy situation for the Reds because they were in their bullpen. But Tony's going to keep a very close eye on Darryl, and a lot of it you just ask your veteran to be honest with you.
81 pitches thrown for Kyle so far.
He's come out, one called Matheny out to talk to him. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Rivera, who is 1 for 2. He struck out in the 2nd inning, then he had a single back in the 4th.
So here we go. The 2-1 pitch from Kyle. Breaking ball, 3-1. On deck, it's Larson, who's hitting under 100 on the year. First base is open.
Pretty good breaking ball, didn't get the call.
Another good breaking ball gets that call. Full count. Rain delay lasted 52 minutes, and we have a crowd of 28,140 in attendance, and much of that crowd is stuck around today.
3-2 pitch now, 2 consecutive curveballs. And inside, you have to think fastball.
Fights it off into shallow right. Pujols makes the play, backing up, and Casey back to second, and that's out number 2.
Big pitch right there, and that's what Darryl Kile's all about.
Jammed him, and now Rivera is 1 for 3, and it's up to Larson.
Ball a little jam shot and go back on it. Then he's set up inside, comes inside, jamming, and off the fist. The second out of the inning.
It brings in Larson, who has a base hit his last time up. Now hitting .080. 1 for 2 with that ground out. Selby is on deck. Now there's 2 outs. First pitch is popped up in foul ground. Matheny is here, and Kile pumps his fist in the air and gets out of the 6th. The Reds have left 6. Redbirds on top 1-0. Receive a specially designed Cardinals cap featuring the signature of Mark McGwire. Compliments of BJC Healthcare. That'll be Saturday, June 2nd, as the Cardinals host the Cincinnati Reds. New pitcher into the game as rain begins to fall once again is Mark Wohlers. You can watch with interest Mark Wohlers as he has regained his control. He was one of the dominant closers in the late 90s. Lost his control. Then he had Tommy John surgery. But he has been able to bounce back. But I don't think, Al, he ever lost the control, at least not as bad as we've seen Ricky and Kile, as far as the continuing the pitches to the backstop and whatnot. He just couldn't find the zone.
Yeah, I agree with you, because we was checking out some video recently from him, and you know, it was like he was walking people, but he was just missing. He was around the strike zone and not throwing any back to the screen. You know, he has walked 5 this year, but one of those was intentional in his 19 innings, but he's got a high ERA. He would have became a free agent. You know, the Reds gave him a shot to work his way back, and then he had Tommy John surgery, and he chose to come back here to show his appreciation for them allowing him a spot to get you know, get back into a groove.
And he accepted much less to come back.
Yeah, well, remains to be seen. Probably he looks a lot bigger than I remember, a lot thicker.
By the way, on Ricky and Kile, there'll be a meeting tomorrow with Tony La Russa and Walt Giacotti and Dave Duncan. There's a rope off the bat of Polanco into center, and Ruben Rivera catches that. 1 away. They will be discussing the future of Mr. Kile, and it's looking like they're going to send him to Jupiter for an extended spring, so to speak. J.D. Drew will step in. He has the only RBI of the day. He has a double, a single, and hitting over 300.
He asked me the other day, and I told you I wouldn't answer it, but that's what I would have done to begin with.
So many different options and what to do. I don't think shutting him down completely is the right thing, because it maybe sends him a message that is not as positive just to be around baseball and be around the game. Drew looks at his strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, before I do that, I would have him travel with a club and tell him he can't touch a ball.
Yeah.
But travel with his teammates and make him feel like he's still part of it. But, you know, everybody's out for the best interest of Rick.
Hold the string there. J.D. was fooled. 1-2. Pujols is on deck. Mark Wohlers here in the 7th. Mercado threw in 1/3 of an inning. Reith, their rookie starter, the right-hander, went 5 2/3. Gave up just 1 run on 7 hits. He struck out 3 and walked 1 and hit a man. It's bounced to the plate. 2-2. was interesting is that when Wohlers lost his control, and inevitably when anybody loses control on the mound, Steve Blass gets a phone call, and he and Steve Blass have become very good friends over this entire situation, and actually can laugh a little bit about how tough it was for Wohlers to get back, and he openly talks about it. Now in his 11th season, over 100 saves in his career. He was dominant for a while, a good stretch, a couple of years while with the Braves. Full count. Drew swings and misses. Strikeout for Mark Wohlers. The second out here in the top half of the 7th.
I know Mark is weighs a little more than the 207 he's listed as. But he's got some good tailing action too. He's got a split finger. He's got a slider. When he was having his problems, a little bit like Rick, he could still locate his slider for strikes or the splitter more so than the fastball. And Bobby Cox told me when we were in Atlanta for 2 years, nobody in the National League really picked up on it, that you could bunt on him, you could do all kinds of things. He couldn't field his position, so you could bunt on him. He said he could never intentionally walk anybody, so he'd throw that one to the screen. And when about the 3rd year, they kind of was going through this, then he just couldn't throw strikes.
Pujols a rope, and that's a fair ball down the right field line. It caroms right to Ochoa, and Pujols is back to first in time.
Boy, he had the play right in front of him. You got to be watching what has happened in this series. And for a minute, I thought he was going to hang himself. I think that's what Dave McKay's saying. Got a pitch right there and slices it inside the first base bag. Then it went off the wall and caromed right to the right fielder, Ochoa, with a strong throwing arm. He gets back safely, and that's the aggressiveness you like to see, but with a little bit of control. Lassoing, bring him back, Dave.
Pujols is 1 for 4. Here's Edmonds. He has a single, hitting .322. The Cardinals have 8 hits on the afternoon. One thing that Steve Blass told me when we were in Pittsburgh is that when he lost control, Al, he completely lost it. He had no pitch that he could get over for a strike consistently. We see a ground ball hit to second and the flip to Castro at short. And that's the one thing that Rick Kile can do. He can get the breaking ball over, and something that Blass could not do. And that, in his mind, is a huge positive. Pujols a race. The Cardinals have left 10. They lead it by 1. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinal Baseball is a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net. Steg Schulte, the right-hander, Christensen, the left-hander, both getting warm in the Cardinal bullpen. Darryl Kile back to work. We're in the 7th. It's 1-0 Redbirds. Bottom of the order, Selby, Castro, and then a pinch hitter. That'll find the seats and out of play. 1-1. Darryl Kile has been efficient. He struck out 6. Matched his career high in his last start with 10 strikeouts against Milwaukee, a 5-0 loss. The way this offense is going, Darryl's going to have to do it himself because the Cardinals have left 10 on the afternoon.
That's what you like, the mindset of Darryl Kile. He doesn't worry about that. He knows the only thing he can control is what the Cincinnati Reds do against him.
By the way, 4-1, top of the 8th. Chicago leads Milwaukee. The Cardinals and Cubs tied in first place in the NL Central. Rain is still falling ever so slightly here at Synergy Field. We had over 34,000 last night. 28,000 here today. Two and 2 the count. And Selby, who's 1 for 2 at the double. Reds 4 doubles, 6 hits on the afternoon, but have not been able to cash in. Fly ball down the right field line. Drew can't catch up with that. Selby on his way to second. And he's in there with a stand-up double. A leadoff double here in the 7th, and Cincinnati's got something going here. The second double for Selby, and for the team, their 5th.
Ball middle half in, just gets it into the right field corner. Extra bases all the way. His second hit. He's almost doubled his hit total. He now has 5. He came in with just 3.
Deion Sanders has stepped on deck. He'll hit for Wohlers. Here is Castro. Selby is at second base, and Castro will be asked to move him over. He's struck out, flied to right. He's 0 for 2. 7 hits now for the Reds. Polanco in, as well as Pujols, and that's fouled off the mask of Mike Matheny.
Little parts of the game, and now you see Tim Foley is coaching third base today. Ron Oster, normal third base coach, is absent. One of his daughters graduating from high school today, so Foley, the bench coach, is over in the third base coaching box. He had a word with Castro.
Castro just hitting .210. You see Polanco way in at third, as well as Pujols. He wants to swing. There's tons of room towards the left side, and that's taken for a ball. 1-1. Game 3 of a 6-game homestand for the Reds. The Cubs will be in town starting tomorrow.
Reds have not won back-to-back games this year at home. Let's hope that continues.
1 ball, 1 strike. Next by Kile to Castro. The bunt gets down. Kile slips, gathers, out at first. He slipped down and then made the play.
Yeah, nice play, and him to field the bunt. He's kind of tippy-toeing when he got on the grass, and then he kind of slipped, so he gets by him, but he recovers and just gets him at the bag.
It's a good call.
Yeah, I thought he was out all the way. Maybe by sliding head first, he looked like he might have stuck in the mud, the runner. Sanders looks like he's going to pinch hit. And it also looks like, well, will they go to the bullpen or not?
Doug Eddings is our first base umpire now. Dave Duncan will make the long walk to the mound.
He's already signaled to bring in Christensen.
Christensen has been awfully effective this season out of the bullpen.
Well, all the left-handers have been very good at retiring right-handed batters. Darryl Kile pitches hard out.
He leaves with a 1-0 lead, but the game on the line here with a man at third and just 1 out. Darryl Kile has left this game with a 1-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the 7th, 1 out, man at third, and now Jason Christensen, the left-hander, has been called upon to try to shut the door here in the 7th inning. He is unscored upon in his first 5 appearances, which cover 4 innings pitched so far this season. Of course, he was disabled following off-season shoulder surgery. Made 7 rehab appearances at Memphis at a 2.25 ERA. So Christensen will face Kelly Stinnett Deion Sanders was announced. He was pulled back, and here's Stinnett. The catcher, he'll hit from the right side. And so far in the pinch, Reds pinch hitters ranked last in the National League, just 6 for 66. It's 091 with no homers and 4 RBIs. They have 1 hit in their last 21 at-bats off the bench. So here we go. Christensen against Stinnett.
Sanders really struggling, but they chose to go to the left-hander, and then Boone counters. So I wonder if he wishes he had Kile facing Sanders or Christensen facing Stinnett. Stinnett played in the first game of the series, and he had a couple hits off of Andy. He was 2 for 3 off of Andy.
Infield is in. 1 ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. Ochoa, leadoff man, is on deck. Stinnett comes in hitting .271 with 3 homers and 8 RBIs. And he's hit safely in 5 of his last 7 games.
Jason's retired all 5 first batters he's faced. That's a key stat for a reliever, and it's obviously a key stat right now. You might have to do either the strikeout or pop out to keep this game where it is.
The 1-1 pitch. Up and in. You mentioned that he certainly would love to see Kile against Stinnett. Kile only threw 94 pitches. Probably had some reserve left in the tank. Christensen with a 2-2 mark against Cincinnati in his career. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
Jason has averaged 9 strikeouts per 9 innings over his career.
Last year he was effective for the Cardinals down the stretch. He ranked 3rd in the National League with 22 holds.
That's why it was kind of surprising that caught a lot of us off guard with the shoulder surgery.
He got him. Huge strikeout.
Well, he's going to face 1 man here, and he gets his man via the strikeout, and now with 2 outs, they'll probably go to Steckschulte to see if he can retire the right-handed batter Ochoa, but you don't know. They haven't indicated yet. Or yes, they have.
Heck of a job by Christensen getting the strikeout of Stinnett. So now there are 2 outs. Steckschulte will come in, and it's still 1-0. Nothing is Tony La Russa and the Cardinals trying to hold on and take game 3 and take 2 of 3 in this series. Christensen gets Stinnett, the pinch hitter. Now Ochoa, the leadoff man, will step in against Gene Steckschulte, appearing for the 21st time this season, the 27-year-old right-hander.
It's 0-2. The ERA 3.18. 1 save. Opponents are batting .256 against him. 22 plus innings, 22 hits, 12 walks, 17 strikeouts, and allowed 2 home runs. He's inherited 8 runners previous to today, and only 1 has scored. And 65% of the time, he has retired the first batter. He has 7 holds. He had a scoreless streak snapped at 6 1/3 innings last Wednesday when he gave up 2 runs.
Here's Ochoa, who's 1 for 3, has a double. Back in the 3rd, he's also struck out. Grounded out to Pujols.
Bright sunshine, so I saw Renteria and Edmonds. You know, Edmonds for sure came in to get sunglasses.
Gary Robinson as well.
A good start there, getting the first pitch strike.
Bullpen trying to keep it scoreless. Ground ball. Renteria charging, throws, got him. Christensen along with Steckschulte do the job. Darryl Kile is in line for the victory. It's 1-0 as we head to the 8th. This portion of Cardinal baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Bank of America. We find financial solutions that fit you. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers for tires and complete auto service. All you need is Dobbs. Reith, Mercado, Wohlers, and now Sullivan, the new right-hander in for the Cincinnati Reds. Leads the club in appearances. This will be his 25th appearance of the season. Had an ERA over 7 in April, but under 2 so far in May, and this will be the 13th time he's appeared this month.
See the numbers. Got off to that slow start, as you mentioned, in April. Been bothered by a sore back ever since spring training. That probably had something to do with it. 2000 became only the second pitcher ever to lead the major leagues in relief innings for 3 straight seasons. Tied Hoyt Wilhelm with that, and no pitcher has ever led the majors in relief innings pitched for 4 straight seasons.
Here's Renteria. We're in the 8th, 1-0 Cardinals. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike. Edgar today has a pair of base hits. It's 2 for 3. Average now over 250, and that's good to see. Started the road trip near 200.
Sullivan has a bad back. The way his delivery is, it wouldn't help it.
Renteria pops it up into shallow center. Rivera is there and puts it away. Edgar's 2 for 4. That brings in Robinson. We got the start today with Langford on the bench. Darryl Kile made the start today. He goes 6 1/3. Does not give up a run. 7 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks. 96 pitches. If the Cardinals can hold on, he'll have his 7th victory of the season. Christensen got Stinnett to strike out. Only man that he faced with man at third and just 1 out. And then Steckschulte got the ground ball to end the inning. So good work by the bullpen. The Cardinals 25-2, leading after 7. Trying to take 2 of 3 against the Reds. 2-1. Robinson today walked and then was caught stealing, reached on an error, flying to left. Lots of room in left center. Three balls and a strike.
Like James warming up. There was no double switch, so Steckschulte is the 4th hitter of the inning.
Weak ground ball, but this will be a tough play. The flip to first. They got him. It was the only way that Selby could have made that play.
Gary didn't get a real quick jump out of the box, but he can make up for lost time with his running speed down there. Selby comes in here, almost a swinging bunt. He comes in here, catches the ball and flips it, and look where Carey is. So didn't feel like he didn't have enough time, and there was no split second to waste it there.
Here's Matheny with 2 down and nobody on. Mike today reached on an error, struck out, and has a double. 218 on the year. The 8th, Cincinnati will have LaRue, Young, and Casey. Still have not seen Michael Tucker off the bench. ball and 2 strikes on Mike. No final yet with the Cubs. They were up 4-1 in the 8th. Struck him out. 1-2-3 inning for Sullivan. Steckschulte back to the mound. 1-0 St. Louis. Cardinal fans, if you would like to win Cardinals tickets and participate in the Southwest Airlines Family of the Game promotion during a Cardinals home game, here's your chance. Send your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines Family of the Game, P.O. Box 771192, St. Louis, Missouri 63177. Good luck from Southwest Airlines in WB11. Gene Steckschulte saw one man last inning. That was a showing, got him to ground out to end the inning. As Darryl Kile left the game with a man at third and just 1 out, but Christensen got the strikeout of Stinnett. Ground ball by Steckschulte to Ochoa, and it's 1-0 Redbirds. Move to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be LaRue, Young, and Casey, so a dangerous part of the order due up for Cincinnati.
If you're a relief pitcher and you come in like Steckschulte did, you get the final out at a crucial spot in a game, you really have to go to the mound and concentrate on your 8 warm-up pitches and almost remember that it's still a pressure-packed situation when it's 1-0 game. Sometimes the reliever will get out of one inning and get themselves in a lot of jam at the next.
LaRue is struck out twice. Fly to center. All against Kyle. He was 0 for 3. 0 and 6 in the 3rd. Two and 0. Afternoon game tomorrow on WB11 at 1 as Milwaukee comes to town to Busch Stadium. And
a battle back, and that's what I'm talking about. You really have to concentrate on those warm-up pitches because you get your heart's really pumping. You go sit down, especially when your time almost comes up in the batting order. You start relaxing mentally.
Line begins to throw in the Cardinal bullpen. You've got Young and you've got Casey coming up, so this would be the perfect time to get him in.
If you had your choice too, you would want to turn Dimitri around to the right side.
Right. Steckschulte is from Lima, Ohio.
We're trying to figure out if we think that's northern part of the state.
Here's Dimitri Young. Popped up. Matheny throws the mask, backing up, makes the play. The Gold Glover puts it away for out number 1 here in the 8th. You would figure this would be it for Steckschulte. And turn Dimitri around.
Yeah, but here's that big backpedal one right there. Well, Mike hangs on to it. Yeah, very simply, Dimitri is a switch hitter. Came into today's action and he's added to it. 315 average. All 5 of his home runs are batting left-handed, and all with RBIs basically.
Klein will come in. Steve Klein will take over here in the bottom of the 8th with 1 out and nobody on, and a 1-0 Cardinals lead. He is the 4th pitcher for the Redbirds. Kyle made the start. Christensen, 1/3 of an inning. Steckschulte, 2/3 of an inning, and now Steve Klein appearing for the 25th time this season.
As team high, 1-1 record. See the ERA 2.14, 2 saves. Opponents are batting .230 against him. He has only allowed 4 hits to a left-handed batter in 32 at bats. 1 home run, that was to a right-hander.
Think about this, Al. The Cardinals have 3 left-handed pitchers. Klein, Matthews now in the starting rotation, and Christensen, who we just saw moments ago. They have held opposing left-handed hitters to an .069 average, so that's 4 for 67, no home runs. Matthews has yet to allow a hit to a left-handed batter in 31 at-bats, and Christensen is perfect at 4 at-bats against lefties, and Klein will turn around Young, and then you've got Casey from the left side, so this makes sense. Young, when he's hitting from the right side, just 42 plate appearances, hitting .238, as opposed to coming in here today, .315 from the left side. But the trio of lefties have done the job for the Cardinals this season.
Less power from the right side. There's no home runs. All 5 of his home runs come left-handed. Only 5 RBIs, 18 when he's batting left-handed, 5 batting right-handed.
First pitch to Young. Upstairs from Klein, who has been reliable and durable so far, and everything that you would expect after the trade this offseason. One ball, one strike.
Speed pitch there, evens the count. Steve, the more work he gets, the better he finds himself in locating that release point.
Good pitch. 1-2.
Part of it is to trick hitters. And if you can get them to go after the pitches that are in the dirt, I mean, you're way ahead of the game. And when one pitch can determine the outcome, that pitch isn't going to hurt you.
He struck him out. 2 away. And it's up to Casey here in the 8th.
It's like the pitch before, they swung out in the dirt, and now they're breaking ball, and same result. Nice pickup by Matheny.
See the opponent's average. Lefties just 125.
Steve kind of told me he got mad at himself for kind of trying to nitpick a little bit related to those right-handed batters instead of just going right after them to be in attack mode.
Casey has a double here today.
More his personality, and this is where you see him really eat up the lefties with his breaking ball away.
Sun is trying to peek out here at Centergy Field. Casey almost tied the game up back in the 6th. Off of Darryl Kile, he was about 5 feet away from a home run in right center. The 1-0 pitch. 1-1.
Bullpen needs 4 more outs, but it has already provided 4 big outs in this game. 0 for 7 is Sean against Steve Klein. Snuck a fastball by him there. He was looking for the slider, and got these guys kind of talking to themselves right now.
But this time last year, I remember seeing Griffey and Casey and some of the different guys that they had from the left side. We had Mike Moeller for the Cardinals, and now it's a different story with these lefties that the Cardinals have. Ground ball, Renteria. The Redbirds are 3 outs away. Casey is 1 for 4 on the afternoon, and Klein gets a strikeout and a ground out. Led to the 9th, 1-0 St. Louis. 1-0 Redbirds. As we move to the top half of the 9th, we'll get our first look at Ray Lankford. He'll pinch hit here in the 9th, and then it's the top of the order. Lone run in this game off the bat of J.D. Drew. All the way back in the 1st inning, a double that scored Vigna. 28,000 here today at Centergy Field. And here's Lankford off the bench. Gary Robinson made the start and left today. And we presume we'll see Dave Beers in the bottom half of the 9th. Great work by the bullpen today so far. Sullivan back for his 2nd inning. He had a 1-2-3-8. Langford at 274. Quickly 0-2.
Dave Veers, 6 for 6 in save opportunities. We'll try and nail down the final 3 outs, but sure would be nice if we could get an insurance run or 2.
Ray has been excellent on the road. 329. Looks at a ball. Cardinals return home tomorrow. Six Flags Day at the ballpark. Plenty of good seats remain. The 1-2 pitch. High drive, center field. Rivera going back near the wall and puts it away. Ray gave it a ride to dead center, and that's out number 1.
That's all you can ask is go up there and center a ball and hit the ball pretty well. Next time we come back here with the heat of the summer, and this ball will go over that 40-foot wall, but today just short.
Here is Vina. He's been aboard a couple of times. Last time up, he left the bases loaded to end the 6th inning. Ground ball to second, out number 2. That'll bring in Polanco.
Polanco needs a hit to extend his hitting streak to 9 games. Vina pushed his to 7, Drew to 7.
The note here, Tony Zerillo and Nib and the gang are all here in attendance and want to say hello to their good buddies back in North County watching the game today. Tony Zerillo and Nip. 1-0 St. Louis.
Shadows are starting to become a factor. We probably have our brightest sunshine at the moment.
Ground ball left side. Throws it away.
He beat it out first.
Yep.
Base hit.
Base hit, so that extends the hit streak for Polanco and extends the inning, more importantly, to J.D. Drew.
And he had a little trouble with exchange as Larson came in on the ball. Remember, it's wet grass. Reached in and then had to reach in a second time to get the handle and never quite had it. But Polanco running hard gets the infield single, and ball got away from Casey, but he could not advance.
Drew has a pair of hits, a double, a single. He's fly to right. He's also struck out. Had a rain delay that lasted 52 minutes here today. Darryl Kile is in line for the victory at the bullpen, and Dave Veers can hold on, but some insurance would look nice here. Sullivan is the 4th Cincinnati pitcher of the afternoon. It started with Reith, the rookie. He went 5 2/3. Then Mercado, 1/3 of an inning. Wohlers pitched an inning. And now Sullivan in his 2nd inning of work. Watching Cardinals baseball on WB11, KPLR St. Louis, and the Cardinals Television Network.
And the Cubs did hold on to win against Milwaukee 4-1, so the Cardinals must win here to stay pace. Keep pace.
1-1 pitch. Tom McLaughlin has been our director. Ken Samuels with us, our producer. Doug Stanton, as always, Mr. Reliable.
Not what you said about him earlier.
Reliable when you're talking about doing our telecast. Anything else? Forget it.
Such a tough trip. We lost a couple people on it, huh?
Yes, we did, but he's a cornerstone. You can always count on him. Drew, a single up the middle. Polanco will move up to second. JD has a 3-hit day.
Well, the bullpen has been sensational. Darryl Kile had a gutsy performance, pitched so well, and then withstood the rain delay to come out and get a couple more outs. See, we get the offense clicking right here. Pujols is 1 for 4 on the day.
And a base hit his last time up. Down the right field line. He's hitting .352.
We need something now.
Yep. Pujols is sitting on 14 home runs on the year. Leads the club with 47 RBIs.
Probably see some breaking balls. We'll see where he tied for 3rd in the National League in RBIs.
Yeah. Line drive into left. That's going to get down. Polanco is going to score, and that makes it a 2-0 St. Louis lead. A huge 2-out hit by Albert Pujols, his 48th RBI on the year.
He's no longer tied for 3rd. He's tied for 2nd now.
All this done with 2 outs.
Off the tough pitcher. Here's that breaking ball, just stayed, hung right out over the middle of the plate. This ball in the wet grass, the only thing that Dimitri could do is make sure he held on to it. 2 outs, so you get that extra head start. Stay on your feet. And there's a big insurance run, but why stop now?
3 consecutive base hits after the first 2 men were retired. It looked like the Cardinals were going to go quietly here in the 9th. And now Pujols with 48 RBIs, 2nd in the league. Here's Edmonds, up and in. Is it me, or does Sullivan not throw nearly as hard as he used to?
I agree with you. And you know, that bat back, this kind of weather, you know, kind of damp and chilly, may have some factor.
He used to be out there throwing gas.
Well, there's all those innings these pitch may have taken somewhat of a toll on him. I remember when I first saw him, I thought this young man is going to be very, very effective for a long time. Then he's led the league in relief innings pitched the last 3 years in a row.
The 2-0 pitch. 3-0. And Renteria waits on deck.
Make a mistake to Jimmy, or go ahead and accept the walk and let Renteria do some damage. He's got a couple hits today. He's starting to show more life.
Pujols at first. Drew is at 2nd. Will they turn him loose at 3-0? He looks at a strike. Edmonds today has a base hit. Grounded out a couple of times and popped out. 1 for 4. The next 2 on. Bases loaded. And here comes Renteria. They have some action now in the Cincinnati bullpen. Edgar today has swung the bat much better. Pair of base hits. He's also flied to center and flied to right. Bases loaded. Drew, Pujols, and Edmonds aboard. Base hit here sure would be nice. Winchester is throwing in the bullpen for Cincinnati. Edgar was on that pitch and fouled it back.
Bases loaded, just a 161 hitter.
No balls and a strike on the Redbird shortstop. Next by Sullivan. Evens a count.
This game has been played at such a slow pace.
throw in the rain delay, too.
Cardinals will look a little more aggressive.
The 1-1 pitch with the bases loaded. Fouled away. Edgar also has a stolen base to go along with his 2 base hits. In the hole here with a ball and 2 strikes. Cardinals have 11 hits on the day. Renteria pops it up on the infield. Selby has it. The Cardinals strand 3. They've left 13 in the game, but they pick up an insurance run. An RBI by Pujols. 2-0 St. Louis. Baseball on WB11 was brought to you by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. By Southwest Airlines, celebrating 30 years of freedom, 30 years, one mission, low fares. By AutoZone, the right part, the right price, and good advice. And by your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals, WB11. Darryl Kile along with the bullpen trying to hold on for a shutout here this afternoon. And the Cardinals trying to hold on to keep pace in the Central. Chicago has already won. It's 2-0 St. Louis. Beers will be the 4th pitcher of the afternoon.
All pitchers have done an excellent job, especially the bullpen. Got 5 big outs from the bullpen, protecting a 1-0 lead. An extra insurance run is very important. Dave's appearing for the 19th time. ERA of 1.53. He's 6 for 6 in save opportunities. Opponents are batting only 159. 17 2/3 innings. He struck out 23. And he has struck out 15 of those in his last 9 1/3 innings. He's allowed just 1 hit in his past 6 games. They're 1 for 19. And he's allowed just a walk.
First pitch, Rivera swinging. The pick by Pujols to pick up Renteria for out number 1.
Just so soft over there and just so relaxed. And he puts himself in a position where he can pick that ball up. There you see the throw into the dirt. Not the way you want to start it, but it was well enough out in front that he got a real true hop. He went down on that ball to where he's almost like a catcher. Getting right down there where that ball going to skim off the grass, and made a nice play.
Here's Brandon Larson. Looks at a strike. He's 1 for 3. And a base hit back in the 4th. 0.77 is his average. Tap foul, 0-2. J.D. Drew and Albert Pujols have the 2 RBIs in this game. Drew's in the 1st, Pujols in the top half of the 9th. That's all the scoring. Next 5 beers is in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Selby is on deck. Cardinals trying to hold on for Kile. If they do, it'll be his 7th victory of the year. The 1-2 pitch. Pretty close.
A little bit inside. He hasn't walked a man in his last 10 appearances, Dave Beers, so he really has command of the strike zone right now.
Popped up. Vina calling for it. Shallow right and has it. With the 2nd out, the Redbirds are 1 out away from winning this series. Let's turn to today's play of the game. It's brought to you by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you, Albert Pujols, in the top of the 9th. And a 2-out hit.
Yeah, insurance run sends Blanco home as the Cardinals Got 3 consecutive hits with 2 outs. A bit like Friday night. Made a hero out of Paquette for the 3-run home run after Renteria, and Robinson got base hits with 2 outs.
It's up to Selby. Looks at his strike from Veers. He's been ahead on everybody. Castro is on deck if Selby can get on. 2 strikes away are the Cardinals. 1-1. Redbirds are 27-20 on the year. Matt Morris, Paul Rigdon will hook up tomorrow. 1:10 the start at Busch Stadium. Morris, Matthews, Bennis, and Hermanson will pitch in that series against Milwaukee. The 2-1 pitch. The Reds are down to their final strike.
Dave Veers is trying to do is keep pace with his other bullpen mates.
Christensen and Steck Schulte.
Line.
Yep, line.
Bullpen was perfect. Has to get the final 8 outs of this game, and we've gotten all of them.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The Cardinals trying to have a 7-5 road trip. The next pitch, base hit up the middle. And the tying run will come to the plate.
Selby came in when he's 3 for 17 and he's 3 for 4 in the day. Tony's signaling right there to tell Pujols that he'll play behind the runner at first base.
It's up to Castro to continue this game with 2 down in the 9th. Swing and a miss. Castro today flying to right, struck out, grounded out. The 0-1 delivery from Veers. Ground ball hit to short. Renteria stays down, throws to first, and the Cardinals hold on for the victory. Darryl Kile improves to 7-3, and the Redbirds have a 7-5 road trip. They're 28-20 and tied with Chicago for first place in the NL Central. J.D. Drew an RBI in this game, along with Pujols, and the Cardinals hold on for the victory, 2-0 over Cincinnati. We'll wrap it up in just a moment. 3 hours and 7 minutes. The Cardinals hold on for the victory. They take 2 of 3 from Cincinnati. The final was 2-0. Kyle his 7th victory, and Veers his 7th save, and all-around great pitching for the Redbirds.
Absolutely. The Cardinals stranded 13 runners, but they did get an extra insurance run in the 9th. They scored in the 1st, and a 7-5 road trip, and the Cardinals have a piece of first place.
They are in first place with Chicago, tied in the NL Central. Our final score this afternoon, the Cardinals win it 2-0. They take 2 of 3. Join us for our next Cardinals telecast. That'll be tomorrow at 1. That'll come your way on WB11. The Cardinals and the Brewers. This copyrighted telecast has been an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net in association with Bud Sports. For Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you tomorrow on WB11 as the Cardinals take on the Brewers at 1.